guys, what's up y'all? This is Sheila here in the hills of Virginia. What's up y'all? I know it's been a minute since I've been on. So much has happened. I think I'm going to have to do maybe at least a couple of additional videos. But I'm out in the shop, as you can see, and I wanted to kind of do I don't know, this might be my third video on caregiving. You know, I had the video out for the beginnings of caregiving and my struggles and stuff, because most people talk about, my husband had a stroke, for you, some of you that do not know. He had it about 6 months ago, and then 45 minutes he had a heart attack. So the struggle has been like a smack in the face, I should say that. It was, the beginnings was caregiving, was not knowing what to do. I've been so independent, and so has Mr., my husband. If y'all do not know my husband, that's his nickname that I have for him, is Mr. So when you hear me say that, you'll know I'm talking about my husband. But he was, you know, an independent person as well. We had our own things that we did personally, like he likes working out in the yard, and you know, I have my quilting, and I had crafting that I did. I had a booth that we had to close down. It was just different things that my own interest and his own interest. Well, now he doesn't have his interest anymore, and neither do I. So at the beginning of caregiving was a massive challenge. I mean, you don't think about things, and if you watch the first video, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know about caregiving, and some of you that do know about caregiving, you know what's involved. My cousin came up yesterday to help me with a wood pile that they had dumped off last fall, and it needed to be stacked, and I wanted to get it stacked before the snow and stuff set in. It needs to dry out where it's rained on and stuff. So it took probably about 5 hours, something to that nature. But it needed to be done, and I didn't have any help. So she volunteered to come up, you know, after a year and a half. And Mr., you know, even before he had the stroke, we had all intentions of doing that, but just sometimes life gets in the way. So today I want to kind of do, like, this is midterm, middle of the road since his stroke, and as far as caregiving, and a little about him, but mainly this is about caregiving. I will say this, that the routine, I have a routine, and it took me a minute to get that routine. And so in getting up, you know, I have a time I get up, or close to it. I usually try to get up at least by 6:30. It depends on how extremely tired I am the night before, as to I might sleep to 1:45. I was getting up at 6, but I was trying to make myself to stay in the bed because I need the rest. But you know how it is, even when you're laying in bed, your mind is going in a whirlwind. You think of all the things that you got to do today, and how you're going to do it, and what needs to be done, and just the challenges of everyday life. So I will say this, that in caregiving for me, and I'm just talking about me, and maybe you can relate out there, is that you have your daily routine when you get up in the morning. Like I get Mr. up, I have the sit to stand, I get him up from the bed, take him to the bathroom, put him on the toilet, stand him up, clean him up, you mean bathing and stuff like that. And you know, he's now got to where I'll hang like his undies and the shorts and stuff on the sit stand, and then, you know, while he's sitting, then he tries to now put on his own undershorts and shorts. And then I get him up, put him in the jazzy chair, which is like a mobile wheelchair, I guess, chair for him to get around in, go back in the bathroom, and you know, then I continue bathing him in his upper part. And you know, I have a routine for that. I have 3 washcloths, you know, one for the personals, and I throw that over to the side, then the next one for underarms, and blah blah, throw that to the side, and the last one's for his face and whatever. So I go through at least three washcloths. Sheila, why are you telling this? Because this is just a routine that I have, instead of going back and forth. I mean, I've got this thing kind of down pat. I know about how long it's going to take me now. Once I put him in the he's in the jazz, and when we finish that, we go into the kitchen. Now, meanwhile, while he is on the toilet, so to speak, I don't mean to offend anybody, you know, but it's kind of his personal time. I go in and make up his hospital bed. I mean, that's why he's doing that. I'm doing this because I'm trying to keep things going. And I'm saying that because now it's easier than when it first started out, because, like I told you, I mean, I was like, my head was in a whirlwind. I never been a caregiver to that degree, and it was very challenging for him, but also for me, because he couldn't move his left side from the stroke at all. And eventually now, he's had the feeling, but movement has progressed slowly. And I will say that is that, meaning slowly, you know, I see him every day, day in, day out, and I just think, you know, is there any improvements? I mean, you see a little, but when the therapist came out and they were doing a reassessment on him, you know, to see whether or not they're going to continue with this PT and his OT, they told me, said, well, Sheila, because you're with him every day, you don't see this, but I come out once a month for the reassessment. And he says, I can see big changes, but for you, it's like watching somebody's hair growing on their head. I mean, it's growing, but you don't see it. And I related to that. You know, he says, I know it's not going fast enough that, you know, either one of you are seeing. He says, but I do see it. I'm saying that because being a caregiver, I won't say, is one of the hardest jobs. And I've had a lot of jobs, and I've talked to some people that have done caregiving. That's my dog, Lily, who's getting into stuff here in the shop. What have you got now? She's getting into things she doesn't need to be getting into. Go figure. It's Miss Lily. She's our Labradoodle. Let me see what she's got now. What have you got? Give me that. That is not yours. I gave you a ball. I gave you things. Now you stop. No. Get your ball. Sorry, guys. Had intermission time. But, anyway, he's able now, well, let me finish. So then we finish that, then we go into the kitchen after I've made the bed, and then, you know, he's finishing, he can comb his hair and stuff. He can shave now with his right hand. Then he makes his way into the kitchen, where now I'm already in there, and now I'm trying to, you know, fix his breakfast. Not only on these other things, this heart attack that he had and the stroke, he's a diabetic. So he's gotten now where he is cumbersome, but he can check his own blood sugar. That's helped me out because I was having to do that. So things have gotten a little bit better. He can give himself his own insulin, and that's helped out. But, you know, also being a diabetic, I have to cook 3 times a day. Well, I was going to be truthful with you. Mr. was always been the cook. He liked cooking. Didn't bother me none. But now, you know, I'm having to be the cook, and he's got to eat, being a diabetic. Breakfast, I can kind of, you know, and probably even at your house, you know, you probably got that down pat. I mean, you know, it's either, I guess, oatmeal, or I do boiled eggs sometimes, you know, with toast, cheese toast. Sometimes it's the over easy eggs that I fix for him. It can be waffles with sugar-free syrup. It can be sausage biscuits. I've now got him some chicken biscuits, you know, for in the morning. Put a little mustard in the bowl, and, you know, you can just dip it and eat it. Things like that. So breakfast, I don't have any problem with. Dinner, I basically don't have any problem with. It's lunchtime that I have the problem with. Maybe y'all have that. I mean, I'm trying to think of things that are easy, because in the middle of the day, you know, I've got things I got to do. I've got, you know, as a caregiver, we still have the house to clean. Not only the caregiver, that I have 5 acres to mow. I had to let the garden go, and I wanted vegetables, fresh vegetables for the summer. I couldn't do it. I had to let it go, so I had to mow it down. I didn't like doing that, but I didn't have any choice but to do that. There are just so many things around the house that needs to be done. Meanwhile, he's sitting, he could get himself now from the Jazzy into his lift chair. And I got him that, and I'm going to tell you, if you guys don't have a lift chair, if you can afford it, I would definitely get it, especially those that had a stroke and stuff, and as they're learning to stand and those things, is very, very helpful. Maybe you can find it on Marketplace for a reasonable price. But that's been a blessing. So, in the first beginning until now, we did purchase that. What a blessing. Now my house is topsy-turvy. You'll find that even with that with somebody with a stroke, with a wheelchair, Jazzy, electric chair, you've got to move your furniture around. We've had plywood put down, the neighbor put down for us, so that he can wheel into the bedroom. The doors are off, so he can wheel into the bedroom, and my lift to stand, I can push him. Now my husband is over 200 pounds, so it's not easy pushing him on carpet with a sit to stand. And so we've just got it narrowed down. It's only when he gets up in the morning and I get him out of the bed, to the bathroom. And that's basically it, not less, he's got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the day. Whew, and I cross my fingers. A lot of times he don't have to do that because I have more strength in the morning. And you'll find that as a caregiver. You get tired, especially if your husband or your wife is, over a certain poundage. And it can be very tiresome trying to manipulate and move them. I will say this as a caregiver, that sometimes I can get short-fused. And I tell Mr. this all the time, and I don't mean any harm, and please don't take it bad what I'm saying out there. When you've had the stroke, you have your own frustrations. Like I was in that really bad accident, now all four of my extremities was immobile. I couldn't stand. But that's another story. I think I've put on there one of my first videos about what I went through. So I've been kind of where Mr. is, and I can sympathize with him as to the challenges that he has. But also, what we forget is our caregiver. We can't feel what they're feeling. When I was, incapacitated all that time, my caregiver was taking care of me, and I didn't feel what she was feeling, and she lived with me. And I tell you what, I can't pay her enough money to this day, or I haven't. Every time I see her, I thank her, or talk to her, I thank her for what she did. I said, I can never repay you for what you did. I only got a little bit of what she's feeling, because she had to take care of me longer. And like I said, I was in the hospital bed, 24/7. Anyway, this is not about me. I'm just saying that as somebody's had a stroke or whatever, they can't feel what the caregiver's going through. So with Mr., he might do something, and he's sitting down now in his chair, maybe the TV's on, and he might be taking him a snooze or two, because usually after a stroke, they do require sleeping. It helps with their brain and the reconnection and stuff. So when he's doing that, I'm up. I'm either, getting the dishes in the dishwasher, unloading the dishwasher, loading the dishwasher. Maybe I've had to do the vacuuming. While he's sitting there. I'm still having my daily duties that I have to do to keep the house up, because it's only me, myself, and I doing that. So, him, by the time now I'm sitting down, and this is where my frustration, sometimes I get a short fuse, and I'm telling you, listen to me, I don't mean any harm what I'm saying, but, I just sat down, well, can you get me, or I need it, or can you hook this up, or can you do it, or you did it, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I just sat down, Lord. I just sat down, God, and I'm thinking, and I'm trying to hold it in, but I feel like I want to bust out in tears. Maybe you do. It's like they don't understand that you have been going. While they're resting, you're still going. So when you sit down, you're thinking, praise God, I can sit down. If I don't sit down for 30 minutes, sometimes I didn't get that. It's like a radar or something. It's like, oh, she just sat down. So now she's finished with all that. So now I want to see if she'll get me this, get me that. Oh, maybe I would like to have that to eat, or maybe I da-da-da. But can you get me some crackers? Can you get me, whatever. I'm just saying this because I don't know maybe what you're going through. or in the middle of the day now, well, he's got to go to the bathroom. And I tell him, I said, Mister, I'm sorry. I get snappy. I'm sorry. I'm tired. You know, I'm not getting much sleep at night. And I wasn't getting much sleep. And this is going to be another video because my dog, Sammy, those of you that know Sammy, had that Cushing's. And so he had to pee a lot or urinate a lot. So I'd have to get up all during the night and let him out. And so my sleep was broken all night long. I'm not one of those that I can, as soon as, like my husband did, Mister, I mean, he could get up, he could let the dog out or whatever, and then he gets back in bed. As soon as his head hits the pillow, he's asleep. I'm not like that, you know. And a lot of times now I have to turn the TV on just so I can have some noise or try to get my mind just on that, because now my mind is racing like tomorrow. Oh man, I gotta get out there. I've got to get it mowed. It's looking bad, man. I need to get somebody to help me come trim because I can't hold the big trimmer because he's got a commercial trimmer and it needs. What is he chewing up? What have you got? I'm telling you, you stop it, Lily. No. No. Stop. You done tore it up. Oh, Lord, that's another thing. Here's your baby. Here's your baby right here. This is Lily's baby. So you play with your baby. Go on, go play. She'd rather have something so she'll pull apart and chew. I don't know why she don't chew on that. Your mouth is wet. She got like a little beard and it gets wet and then she wants to get all over me. That's another thing. That's another thing during the day. Feeding the critters. But anyway, I was saying with Sammy, you know, I was up during the night and having to stop it, having to let him out. My sleep broken. So the next day, you know, I haven't had much sleep, you know, and you can't go many days without rest. And then dealing with the challenges that I have every single day as a caregiver. I have started relinquishing, so some of you even with the stroke patients, if you continue to do everything for them and don't challenge them, it's easy and they get in their comfy position as to, well, just let them do it. You know, you can't do that. I mean, if Mister has started getting, like, moving his leg, we've got him up on a walker now with help. He can't do that by himself. It's very, very slow, very challenging. But it was more than he could do when he first got home. So we're in the intermittent, what I'm saying. But I'm so sorry. She is just trying, my nerves. She wants this so bad and I'm not giving it to her. No. I'm going to make her put her outside. You didn't know you were going to get this caregiver, me having to deal with Lily. I mean, she's, like when she's in the house, this is a different story. It's like, she's like a kid. She wants to get into everything. I'll show you Lily in a minute. Well, anyway, so I've, they will just get comfortable and you doing it. So once they get some movement back, you need to back off and you need to challenge them. Yeah, so that will get on your nerves too, because what you can get done, you know, like getting them like with the dressing, or I don't know what it is, you know, that you can, when you're helping them, you can get it done, bump, and you can get on to something else that you got to do. Well, now it's like I'm challenging him, and it is a challenge to him. And sometimes when he wants, like, well, it's taking me long. I don't care. It might take me 5 minutes to get done. I told myself, if it takes you an hour to do it, you're going to do it, because the more that you do it, the faster that you'll get. And then you're using muscles, you're thinking, you're visualizing. And so I have to bite my tongue, and I have to, the OCD is in me, is like, you know, I want to get it done the right way. Well, he might be awkward at it and it's getting on my nerves, but I'm having to discipline myself. And you as caregivers, please, you've got to let them do what they can do on their own. And it's going to be slow. It really is going to be. It's like watching a snail, you know, move. Anyway, so that's all I can say about that. I told you about the cooking and the planning the meals. That's a challenge. I've got to start writing down. I've got to start thinking of things to do for lunch, and maybe you're in the same position. Things for lunch is things that are quick because that's midday, and you're trying to get as much done as you possibly can. Just to survive for the house, like I said, from your mopping to your cleaning your bathrooms to you whatever it is that you did before in your house, you still got to keep it up. You don't want to look nasty, and I can't stand nastiness, and so it's working me. I'm not saying to death because it ain't working me to death, but it's working me as it might you. You have to understand, even as a caregiver, that you can't take time off. There's no such thing as time off. And this is the other issue, and I tell Mr. this all the time. I said, you don't understand. I don't feel good today. I've got an extremely bad headache, but can't. I hear her chewing on. She got something else. I'm telling you, stop it, Lily. Now she just tore this up. She's just looking for something good because she wants my attention. That's what it is. Anyway, you might be sick. You might, like me, I've had a headache, and I tell Mister, I said, my head is about to pound off of my shoulders, and but I got to keep going. I got to feed them, and when I'm standing there and I feel sick as like maybe even I'm getting a migraine headache, and I don't want to smell food. I want to sit and get into a dark place. I can't. I don't have any help. It's me and Mister here by ourselves. I have kids that live in another town, and that's another story because some of them that I'm not by my choice, that I'm distant from, if you know what I mean. That's another whole story. Yeah, I'd have a zillion videos just telling y'all just aspects of my life. But I don't want to come across as a Debbie Downer, boo-hooing. But here's another thing, and I don't know if you as caregivers deal with this. That Mr. I got him the electric jazzy, so that would gave him mobility, to give him some freedom that he can get from point A to point B. Well, when he was not using the left side due to the stroke, even a wheelchair was hard for him. Trying with the right foot and trying to turn it, and the wheelchair is big, it's heavy. I really don't like it. But so I got him the jazzy to give him some freedom, some mobility. Well, doggone, you know what happens is that he doesn't pay attention where he's going. I've got the wood frames. Maybe your house is being tore up from the floor up, where he's running out. I said, Mister, can you please be careful going through there? Or I tell him, we've got a stainless steel refrigerator. Don't get near the refrigerator. If you need something in the refrigerator, I'll get it. But you know what? He's hard-headed. And maybe you've got one of them hard-headed ones out there. And it grates my nerves because now I looked at the bottom of the refrigerator with the jazzy. It's like a little a lift foot. You can put it down. He puts his feet on it. Well, that jazzy is very powerful. And he runs the foot part of it in the bottom of the refrigerator. So I had two big dings, like long marks, two dings. And I told him, I said, you cannot come over here anymore. You're running into the refrigerator. Don't do this. Don't come over here. Well, I looked the other day, like when I went outside, if I got a mow, and I'm thinking he's sitting in his chair, well, he can shift to get out of his, because of the lift chair he has, and then he can kind of move over into the jazzy while I'm outside. Mowing. Of course, I stop and I come in and check on him, but he's done been in there around the refrigerator again. So I looked now, I got 4 dings. I got 2 dings in my front door, which is a steel door. And, it's just things like that absolutely upset me, because that he can control, he can see, but they just get into this thing. It's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I go, there's some things that, like this, just stay out of the kitchen. There's no reason. He can't cook. You know what I mean? I get him his water and stuff. That way he doesn't get over there, because we don't get it out of the spigot, because the spigot, we've got a lot of iron and stuff and minerals that's in our water, even though we've got a purifier. But we like to get out of the refrigerator. It has the filter and stuff. So I told him that, and usually I make sure he has those things before I have to go mow for, say, 30 minutes, then I can come back and check him in case he does need something. But somebody's got to mow the yard, and I can't afford it. I mean, you get to where, caregiving, when they've had, and our age, we're on a budget, and the medicines are cost us out the what. I mean, it's nothing. Like last month, out of pocket $600, so $600 a month, and it's draining us dry. So you've got those financial things that you, as a caregiver and a wife, that I'm thinking about. It's like, I'm having to take care of the finances. What can we curb back on? What can I do? Because this medicine is just, and he has to have the medicine. What do you do, ladies and gentlemen? And as a caregiver, what are you going to do? It's just very frustrating. As a caregiver, I just don't. I don't know what else to say. Going places. He can now hold on with one hand to the car door, and I'm standing between the door and the Jazzy, so my rear end can keep the door open as he pulls, and he can now stand. He's slow at it. I have to put the gate belt around him to help hold him, so he doesn't fall. Or if he starts falling, I can grab it, which is a big improvement from when he first came home. And that way I can get him out of the house to, you don't want to be in the house all the time. He's got to get out. And so, even still that, all he's got to do is get from the house to the Jazzy to the car, and I'm doing all the work. I mean, he's standing up, yes. Before then, we had to use a slide board. That's another story. So, and he pivots around slowly because hard for him to get that left foot to move. And then, I have to hold on to the belt as we go down into the car seat. But it does him good to get out. It does me good to get out to see something different instead of being at the house all the time. But there's just different challenges. By the end of the day, like I said, I don't have time to do my quilting. I don't have me time. And you say, well, Sheila, what about when you sit down on the couch? Remember, if I sit down, it's like radar. She just sat down. I need so-and-so. I need so-and-so. But I don't have any length of time. Like I want to do some. I need some things for me from my mind, from my escape, to like quilting or crafting or just doing something just for Sheila, not a have to. I feel like every day is a have to. I can't get up and say, oh, let's just see how the day falls. When we were both in, pretty good condition, and we got up and did our own things, and we'd have coffee together on the deck, and he would go outside, then I'm inside, and I get my cleaning done, and I'm out and I'm quilting or doing something for me, or even sitting down and reading the Word. You don't have time for that. I can't read the Word now. Like, Sheila, Sheila, you better make time. Well, I'm tired, so I sit down and I'm reading the Word. I'll be doggone, I'm sitting there, I'm falling asleep. In the evenings, after supper and everything. And I thought, we can watch some TV, but as soon as I'm so exhausted, ladies and gentlemen, as being a caregiver, you're exhausted. People that have caregivers, those people that, maybe you're in Keith's position, and I'm not meaning harm by it, we're exhausted. Yes, you need our help. Yes, I'm here for Mister. Yes, I still do. Even when I don't feel like it. Even when I'm tired. Even when I'm sick. And I don't have any help. I still have to do. Sometime, let's think about that caregiver that she's tired. Not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. I tell my husband all the time, I go, I want my husband back. He says, I want to be back. I want to be able to get in my own bed. He's in the hospital bed. He has to have that. So we had to take our bed out and put the hospital bed in. Well, I can't sleep in the hospital bed with him. I mean, I can't. And so I have to sleep in the back room. At first I wasn't. I had to sleep on the sofa because of Sammy having to get up and use the bathroom all during the night. But now I've started sleeping since Sammy's no longer with me. That's another, I'll start crying. But, you know, I want my own bed. I want to sleep in my own bed. Not the guest bedroom bed, but I want my furniture back. I want my house back. I want my husband back. So see, I have needs and desires, things I want. Am I being selfish? Maybe a little bit. But hey, you know, it is what it is. And there's just things that I need myself. Even as a caregiver and a wife. So bedtime, you know, Mr. is now starting to get himself in the bed by himself. Now, it wrecked my nerves there at the beginning, but I'm just telling you guys that are caregivers, and maybe you're in the middle of this road, you know, dealing with that, and they're getting better, but, you know, they're a little bit better, but still, they need your help quite a bit. But let them do what they can. Yes, it takes them, a minute to get in the bed, but, you know, I've got to relinquish myself some things. He's got to do this. You know, you got to challenge him. Wonder if he doesn't get the full movement in his left arm and his left leg. Wonder if that reconnection doesn't go all the way. Well, they've got to learn to do these things by themselves. Or if you don't, you're going to be putting yourself in the grave. I mean, you know, it's challenging, yes. So, in the evenings, when he's ready to go to bed, I've got the pill things, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, he knows how he can get that open. I've already got the pills laid out for him. He does that. He takes his evening insulin. And then now he's getting himself in the bed by himself. And I've got one of those little trapezes, I think that's what you call it, things that you can pull on. So he can get himself in the bed, and with his right arm, you know, he can pull himself up in the bed. And then with the remote control for the bed, you know, he can raise the bed either like this, he can raise his head, he can raise his feet. You know, like a regular hospital bed. So he can get in there and he can maneuver all of that, and he can cover up. And we've got one of those lights you just touch, you know, and it goes off and on just by touching it. So he can turn his light off and on. When that happens, my checkout time, and I'll tell him I'm checking out. He knows when I'm checking out, that means I'm taking my shoes off. I have to keep my shoes on all day. Well, Sheila, why don't you just take your shoes off during the day? Because when I'm dealing with that sit to stand, and you've got to lock it down, I can't lock it down with a bare foot. I can't lock it down with a sandal, anything. I've got to have on my... She's got something else. She had my ribbon. I have to lock it down with my tennis shoes on. And I'm tired. So I just want to encourage you. I'm being for real. A lot of people maybe just want to get out there and maybe, you know, make it like a good little video. I'm being for real. I'm being for real as a caregiver. The challenges that we have. And maybe some of you that do have caregivers, if you can do some things on your own, I challenge you to help out as much as you can. There's some things that you can't. Give me. She was going to grab this and run. She saw me coming, boy, she wanted to take off jiffy quick. Now she's got toys all over the yard. But no, she won't see us. Let me show you Lily, guys. I know you go... Where's Lily? Let me just show you her. There's Lily. See Lily? No. She wants to put, and this over there is the basket that has the ribbon in it. Then she tries to get stuff out of here. And I got her a ball here. Of course, that's just a ball that was already in here. She needs a tennis ball. But I'm just giving her something to occupy her time. Or when she comes here, just lay down. A lot of times she'll just lay there on her blanket. But not today. Because today I'm trying to do a video and she knows it, and it's like, by golly, I'm going to make you pay attention to me. Thank goodness I have an appointment for her on the 14th to get her bathed and you know, shampooed, whatever, and so she smell good, and get her clipped, her hair clipped, shaped up. I'm cutting all this off because when she licks water and stuff, the water gets all over her beard and all over her little mustache and stuff. I said, so cut that real short. when I bring her in, cut around her eyes, and I want to leave some of her ears, but and cut her nails and stuff, because I don't want her outside hardly any in the winter. I didn't get her to be an outside dog, though she's had to be on the outside quite a bit because Mr. being on blood thinners and her nails, she, afraid she's gonna. She has scratched them and it's brought blood, but it's just so easy. It's like his skin has got thinned out. But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, I'm gonna wrap up here, guys. Is that if you can do stuff for yourself, those of you that have a caregiver, try to do it. Yes, it's challenging, but you know what? In the long run, it helps you, and especially if you're a stroke victim, it sends signals to your brain to reconnect. It's like even walking. It's kind of like a baby. You've got to kind of learn to walk again, but you can do it. I mean, babies don't just stay, crawling all the time. They get up to now where they're walking. Maybe they're kind of stumbling, but then it gets where they're running. I mean, it gets better and better and better, and as it's sending signals to the brain. So the PT lady was here today. She got him up walking on his walker. He has a arm thing. He puts his arm in because he can't hold like this, just due to the fact that he can't lift his arm and stuff. He's got it now where he could maybe just do a little, but he has to put his arm in the armrest, so it's hard for him to get his arm in the armrest and then strap it in. And she still has the gait belt around him, so getting him up and walking is very slow. But, I'm hoping that he can just be able to get up with a walker by himself before too long. There was a reason I was saying this, and I can't remember what it was. But I'm just saying that, just do as much as you can. You're going to get some times where, as a stroke victim, that you feel like you're plateaued out. You push yourself even harder. I tell Mr. all the time. I said, when you give 100%, you feel like you're plateaued out, then you give 110%. You're not going to stop. We're not going to settle for this. They say that sometimes with stroke victims that, they give you, say, 3 to 6 months or something like that. And they said then probably up to a year that, you're probably not going to get any better. That's a lie. There are people that over a year, and then all of a sudden, man, the connection to their brain and everything starts connecting, and they're able to move. Their mobility is coming back even the better. But the main thing is giving it 110. Don't stop. You work hard every day, and I push Mr. every day, because he asked me. He says, "How can I help you?" He's talking, to me. You want me to feed the cats or the dogs? Well, he can't. He wants to, but he can't. And I said, I tell you what, Mister, how you can help me is for you to get better. You work hard on you every single day. You move your hands. You do whatever you can. If you can't move this, then you lift it up with the other arm. You start moving that arm. It's sending signals to the brain, and that connection is going to take place. Some a little faster than other people, it's okay, but you got to keep working. And I just encourage you, if you want to help your caregiver, you work on you. Don't wait on them to do everything for you. If you can do something, you might be slow about it, but do it. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get with it. And don't be discouraged. So, anyway, prayer help. Prayer availeth much. And I'm praying, and Mister's praying all the time for a complete healing in his body. We don't give up on our faith because he's had this. It's been a bump in the road. It's been a big bump for me. But, I believe that God is working things for my good and working it for Keith. And there, we go, well, why did this happen? We don't know why it happened. I can't say, because God says that, he wants us to walk in divine healing, divine health. And stuff like this is from the enemy. God don't put sickness on you. Some people say, no, he don't. No, he don't. And even, when he was on the cross, he says, by his stripes we are healed. I mean, if something does come on, we claim our healing. Okay, he's already paid the price, right? Come on now. Is that an amen in that little amen corner over there? Come on now. Well, anyway, I'm going to get off here. I've got to go check in on Mister. And I know he wants to take a car ride. I'm looking outside. It's kind of looking kind of cloudy. It says it's supposed to be like 55% chance of rain. I don't want to get him out in the rain. He's stuck in the car, and I don't feel like sitting out in the car while it's raining until it quits and then get him inside. So I don't know. I think the next 3 days it's supposed to rain, but I know he wants to get out as well. Anyhow, I'm just going to kind of fill it out for a little bit. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's been maybe an inspiration to some of you caregivers, but also let you know you're not alone. You are not alone. And it's okay to say, I'm having a problem, God. It's okay to cry. There's been many times I've cried. I said, God, I can't do this. But he didn't. The Bible says that He's not going to put more on us that we can't handle. We can handle it. I mean, He's going to make a way. And I have to now. Let me tell you, I have to remind myself of that and remind myself of God's word every day. I have to encourage myself. If you don't have anybody else encouraging you, can encourage yourself. And ask God to strengthen you and give you peace of mind. And because all the times I felt like I was going to go nutso. I mean, let me tell you. So you're going to feel those feelings. But we just pray and believe that's going to get better. And it's going to get better for you. It might get better just kind of relinquishing some things. As I have learned, it's been hard because we want to do it all. But you can't. I am not Superwoman, and neither are you or Superman. Some things you've just got to let them. If they can do, you let them do. They might be slow at it, but let them do it. While they're still working on that, you go and do something else. Okay? Well, let me get off of here. I got to tell you about Sammy. That's another video. So I've got to charge my battery up. And I want to get this one out. Mr. and I have been wanting to get a live video, but doggone it, by the afternoons, like I'm telling you, he's exhausted, for his day, for PT or OT, what he's done, and trying to walk and stuff. I'm exhausted from everything I just told you, and I didn't add in everything that has to be done. Phew. Anyway, where was I? I was looking at Lily. She's gone outside, praise the Lord. But, yeah, just let them do what they can, if you can, all right? And I'm going to try to get the other videos out. Oh, I know what I was saying. I was saying that we both want to do a live video. We do, and I have missed you guys. I've missed my friends that come and visit me and talk to me. I don't have any friends up here. I don't have any. It's just Mr. and I, and we have some sweet neighbors, a couple that lives close to us, that we consider friends, but other than that, I don't have any friends, and I haven't met any. We're just in a new town. Of course, we've been here for 5 years, but it's hard to meet somebody and establish a friendship. They become maybe an acquaintance, but a friendship. So I feel like a lot of times I'm by myself, man. I'm alone, and I've had to ask God to help me with that as well. But you are my friends. I don't get back to all the comments because, as you know, I just have a hard time in doing that. But I do read. No, I do read your comments, and I appreciate you so much. Mr. appreciates you. We appreciate the cards that you have sent. It has been such an encouragement to him, and he loves them. It just brightens his day. So for all of you that have done that, even the ones that send the cards with the glitter in it, we love you and we appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here. Remember that I love you, but Jesus loves you more. And let's say it. Let's say it. Y'all know that's been with me. You're blessed in the city. You're blessed in the fields. You're blessed when you come, and you're blessed when you go. In Jesus' name. And until the next video, guys, remember that I truly, truly, truly do love you. Until then, bye, y'all.